This right here is the face of the San Antonio regional champion. Let me give him a little bit better of a better of a. Come on, look at this. Hold on. Let's see if we get it. Look at that smile, man. Look at this smile right here.
And then paired with the restricted Pokemon.
Look at that smile, man. Look at that smile. What a guy. No, but this Justin Tang just won the San Antonio regional championship, and I kind of just wanted to review back over this battle and take a look at it. Because while I am practicing for Atlanta, there are multiple ways to practice, right? Sometimes it's just playing the game, and other times it's like battle analysis. And as a Calyrex Ice Rider player, this was just a really interesting match to go back and watch between two amazing players in Shiliang Tang and Justin Tang. So I thought we'd do a little bit of a different video today and do that. So they both have kind of ran this different Ice Rider team. We can see it on the stream there, but it's Booster, Roaring Moon, Taunt Urshifu, Covert Cloak, Terra Fairy, Amoonguss, and what we saw earlier in the tournament was the reason for the Terra Fairy on not only Amoonguss but Calyrex is to really pin a Choice Scarf Urshifu next to Landorus, right? Sorry, not Urshifu, Choice Specs Miraidon. Basically, like, if you have Miraidon and you have either of these Mons next to Landorus, you gotta decide. The Miraidon has to decide what's gonna go into. So if it chooses like a Fairy move if it chooses a Dragon move in like Draco or Dragon Pulse, if like for some reason it was running that, it can't hit into Amoonguss or Calyrex, and you'd get to the point where it would struggle, but you probably maybe you'd win, but I think struggle recoil would be too much. But this actually did happen earlier in the tournament where Justin was able to pin somebody's Miraidon. I don't remember who it was, but he had Calyrex late on the field. So yeah, anyway, I just wanted to take a look back at this battle and think about what's going through some of their minds. It's a mirror match. They're using the same Pokemons. So let's kind of just skip through this. Same team either way. One thing I think we saw with this Ogerpon is that it's a lot bulkier. It's not as fast, a lot bulkier. I'm not sure what the Landorus is either. And they opted for high horsepower, which is just standard Calyrex set. The most interesting part about this is, again, Terra Fairy, but that's going to be used to make Miraidon make a decision, Okay, let's say you go for Electro Drift. Well, then if he played it really well to where he has Landorus in the back, you can't hit the Landorus. If you go for a Dragon move to hit the Landorus, you can't hit Calyrex if it Terra Fairies, like we kind of said earlier. And yeah, let's just kind of get into the battle, skip ahead a little bit.
Specific direction, its own bulk, and that lets you bring
Urshifu. It has taunt as a support.
Shiliang doing the same thing.
In this format, I feel like they have their restricted that just
all right, so
for Shiliang and the Landorus and Urshifu for Justin.
So the interesting part here, nothing really crazy. As we see, as the battle goes on, Justin's gonna have. I'm gonna mute this. Justin's gonna have the opportunity to really go for a double K on this first turn, and he thinks about it. Yeah, you can see right there, he thinks about just going ahead and clicking close combat into this Roaring Moon just to pick up the KO. But the casters announced this later too. While you could go for that, it'd be an insane move. You also just there's a lot of risk going for that, right? Roaring Moon can go Terra Flying, hit back Urshifu for an Acrobatics KO, which would have really sucked. Tearing the Landorus into water here is always the right play, and really a good Terra to have on Landorus specifically for Urshifu, and maybe to survive something from whatever that water whale Pokemon is, Kyogre. So yeah, just always the right play there. No need to protect. Just goes for Earth Power, like Sheer Force, Life Orb, no shot unless you're Focus Sash a lot of the time to survive that, especially if you're max. So we're going to see the Terra come out here. And the interesting thing is here, like, you know, they pointed out there was no Terra on the Roaring Moon. Instead, it opts to go for Tailwind. So he totally could have just went for the close combat. And it's kind of funny. He like looks in the crowd, like if you look at him here. Let me see this. He looks in the crowd. He's like, dude, I could have just ate right there. So I just thought that was kind of funny.
Side as Roaring Moon is free to set up this
Surging Strikes pops
Look
out.
at how with this Terra Water, Justin with an Urshifu on his own side.
Lander survives no problem. I'm gonna speed this up. Custom playback speed ×2. Okay.
Able to be free and clear to deliver out some big blows. This Landers can as well. Earth Power into the
Earth
Urshifu.
Power just absolutely destroys.
For Shiliang to bring something in under those tailwind conditions.
So yeah. Get that out, and I think Shiliang's just content to accept that. One thing I guess Shiliang Tang could have done is that he could have close combated into Landorus, reading that it was gonna go Terra Water, but like that's just, I feel like that's just like a really hard call to make there, and you risk a lot, right? Like I think now knowing that you just drop to the Earth Power, like maybe before he thought it was a roll and he had a chance, but also like I'm pretty sure they built this team together. I don't really know a lot about them, but like maybe he knew he would just. I think like if I knew I would just drop, I might have just went for close combat, because there's no way you just let me get off of Surging Strikes, and like nothing that comes in really wants to take close combat besides like a Mungus. But I think we see later that that's not even an option for Justin, and would be hard to bring in this mashup because you have Ice Rider and you have Roaring Moon. So Calyrex comes out here, free to kind of play into the game. Yeah, and we see like nothing, like that is one play Shiliang could have made. It's just straight up close combat into Landorus. That would have definitely changed the game a lot. Because there's nothing here in the back that wants to take that. But again, just a hard read to make. So on this turn, Justin, I think what he does, yeah, he just double protects, wants to see what Shiliang's going to lock into. Knock off into Landorus. Okay, maybe predicting a switch there. If you knock off into either the opposing Roaring Moon or the opposing Calyrex that we see in the back, it's like you're pretty far up in the battle. Calyrex would take so much damage, and then especially with Glacial Lance, it'd just be an issue. But we can also see, like, as we know of right now, they've brought 3 of the same Pokemon: Mystic Water, Urshifu, Calyrex, and Roaring Moon. But Shiliang only knows one of these at this point in the battle, because obviously he can't see what's in the back waiting. So we see the Terra into Roaring Moon, and this was interesting. I don't really know what the thought process here was. Like, I think that, wow, okay, never mind. I was going to say that I think that he could have just, like, knocked out Urshifu without having to Terra it. That's insane. Like, that Urshifu has to be so bulky, I feel like, to take that Terra-flying acrobatics from Roaring Moon and still survive. Booster speed, Tailwind. Yeah, acrobatics. Let's just say 220. That looks good. Against Urshifu. Wow, it's actually not even. It's actually not even close. Wow, I guess acrobatics is just a weak move. That's crazy to me. It's not even close. So even knowing that, like, which I guess this Urshifu has to be, because it did what? See this again. You get the Terra Flying Acrobatics into Urshifu. It's 201. So I wonder if he just has like lost a lot of speed on Urshifu. It's 201. Nishada, is it 252? Max health. 204. Okay. And they probably, I don't know, he probably took a little bit out of that. Like this is not at all like what the EVs probably are. I guess like under Tailwind 96 might be fine. You're still outspeeding everything else under Tailwind. But yeah, the acrobatics, it wasn't even close, which is crazy to me. And again, like I still don't have these right because Terra Astral. Oh, sorry. This is okay. Yeah, yeah. That makes a lot more sense. Sorry, I didn't realize I had just Terra Water on Urshifu. This thing just has to be so bulky. Like so bulky. So let's say it's one. I'm gonna say it's 140. Like maybe it's bold or something like that. I don't think it's jolly. It's probably adamant. Just because like running it on Ice Rider team, like it might just be adamant to. Maybe it's like something like this. And like less attack. Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's something like that. That's insane. Guaranteed to hit 140 to a 1 HP. Wow. Wow. So I don't know, sorry, I'm ADHD, so I get off topic. But like I'm saying, like if you know it's gonna be a guaranteed 2-hit either way, I don't think you need to close combat there. Or I mean, press or I'm sorry, go Terra there. Personally, I would have just kept it, but like maybe he's worried about. No, he's not worried about getting close combated because he's under Tailwind and Calyrex outspeeds. But then it's like, how much speed investment do you have in your own Calyrex? So Justin's able to bring his own, whatchamacallit out. Was that a double protect on Landers? Let me go back and see here. Yeah, it's a double protect on Landers. Okay, no, it's not. No, it's not. I'm lying. I'm tripping. What did he click? He does go for double protect, but he doesn't get it. And then he just clicks protect again, which like makes sense. I think the thought here is that he doesn't want to lose Landers here. Yeah, fails double protect. Okay, I see what's happening. I don't know. I guess he just didn't know that calc, but I think he just wants to take out Urshifu to get the single target Glacial Lance into Landers, get it off the field, because Landers is kind of annoying. So now he can Justin, since it failed last turn, like it's just smart here. Slow that down a little bit. One turn to protect left. One turn to Tailwind left. Yeah, it's just smart here to protect out that Tailwind so that maybe next turn he can attack the Roaring Moon. And there's no reason not to click Glacial Lance, but you're at risk here, I feel like, of a knockoff. Yeah. And we see, like, that's why you don't want to switch into Calyrex earlier. I think earlier in the battle there was a knockoff into the Landers slot. which could have been like Calyrex switching in, which was a great play by Shiliang. It's smart here by Justin not to protect, I think, and just get some damage into Shiliang's team, get rid of Roaring Moon for sure. And like with the Pokemon in the back, now it's Roaring Moon versus, or he's got Roaring Moon in the back. Right now you got Calyrex versus Landorus and Calyrex. And winds up being Ogerpon Hearthflame. I think the casters, I feel like I remember them mentioning this, but like if you have Tailwind set up, to me, and I think with this, let me check this Ogerpon Hearthflame's moves. Yeah, to me, I would have swapped in Hearthflame, and after knocking off the Life Orb, I feel like you could just Horn Leech into either Urshifu or Landorus, and Hearthflame would be okay. So I wonder why he switches in Calyrex there. Like
The Ogerpon now hits the field in a pretty good position to threaten the Landorus on the other side. We don't know the speed relationship, I don't think, between the Landorus and the Ogerpon yet. Depends on how the Pokemon.
So this play here is just like basically
on the other side is. There's a good chance Landorus is faster.
Basically a sack. Sancer does really good damage. Like holy crap, really good damage. Crits the Calyrex. And still does great damage into. Wow. Okay. I guess I think it makes sense now why he didn't switch it in. I did not think that Sansear would do that much to Ogerpon, but so he doesn't want to Horn Leech into Urshifu, because Earth Power could just kill Ogerpon for sure. And like we could look at that real quick. I would assume that Earth Power would just kill Ogerpon. Hearthflame. Let's just do all out offense and say, and then Landorus. Offensive Life Orb. Okay, I guess not. It probably would just do more damage than he would like. We're not really sure what the HP spread is on Ogerpon. I'd be willing to bet that it's not this fast. I'd be willing to bet it's somewhere around here. And then like probably some defense. So I don't know. That's a crap spread, but I'd be willing to bet that somewhere around that HP stat. Yeah. Just seeing how much that did, like I'm guessing then he knows that he's slower too. Let's see. Yeah, he's probably not enough speed to outspeed the Calyrex because he's relying on Tailwind for that. Crazy. Sansear did so much damage.
Great target for that, but now that we see the Glacial Lance come out from Shiliang's own
And this should
into the Water Terra, well, it's just going to be barely enough to get the KO.
So it's a sack, but like that's sometimes playing this game you have to make those choices. Like I'd love to hear Justin's review of this battle. If you don't already follow Justin or subscribe to him, you should. He really breaks down the game well. He's got a very calm demeanor about it and is an enjoyable person to listen to talk about this game. But yeah, sometimes you just have to, like, could he have saved Landorus? Like, yes, he could have, but like then you're swapping Roaring Moon into a Glacial Lance. And the better play here is always to swap, or is to just let Landorus go down so you get the free swap in.
was that Ogerpon Hearthflame. Justin has this Roaring Moon in the back that he's been saving for this specific moment.
Roaring Moon is a great last Pokemon to have
Yep,
here.
booster.
You the agency in the last turn. The first Pokemon that's going to attack is Roaring Moon, and if Justin wants the Tailwind, the second Pokemon to attack will be Calyrex Ice Rider.
Yep. So it's Justin's pretty free. And I think this actually winds up coming down to a possible speed tide. Like, we don't really know how these two Ice Riders are trained. But as you can see, Justin selects to target into Ogerpon, which is the correct play because Ogerpon here is the second fastest after the Roaring Moon. And I'd be willing to bet that I'm not sure how fast this Calyrex is trained, but I'm wondering if it's trained fast enough to, after Tailwind, outspeed a Ogerpon Hearthflame. I just have no idea. At all. So I wonder, is there, maybe in here there's a Hearthflame? No, there's not. There is somewhere, though, that has series Hearthflame, and it's a little bit more defensive.
Glacial Lance might be enough damage to just pick up the KO onto both.
So it goes for high horsepower.
For now,
Okay,
follow me,
that's smart.
Something away. Let's see what.
I think this winds up being a speed tie.
It's acrobatics, so it's just going to be a
Acrobatics
KO
is
onto
fine.
the Ogerpon. But now is the question, which Calyrex is going to be faster?
Yeah, the
If
question
they're
is
trained the same way,
what's up
could
with
be a
this?
speed tie, but it's going to be Justin's that moves first. It's a high horsepower into Shiliang's.
Dude, high horsepower takes forever to come out, and every time it does, it's like, oh my gosh, is this thing gonna miss? Because, you know, like, when stuff misses in this game, it's very much delayed.
KO, Justin goes up 1-0 in this
So,
series.
and that could have just come down to a speed tie, right? But since they built this together, like, I think they built this together. That's what I kept hearing yesterday. It could have literally just been like, oh, like, I'm going to speed creep your Calyrex just a little bit so that if I have to fight in the mirror, I know that I'm going to be faster.
Well, it's often reductive to say
outside of
Pokemon
Trick Room.
mirrors boil down to speed ties at the end of the day, but it sure felt like that one did. On the last turn, two Calyrex Ice Riders.
Yeah. So they're probably talking about here, like, just about something. I guess Calyrex hadn't taken a knockout there, so that's why Justin goes for high horsepower instead of Glacial Lance, because Glacial Lance might not have killed the opposing Calyrex. We go through some replays, and
Make some risk
we're going to get into Game 3. All right, here we are. Or Game 2, sorry. So,
a bit of an adjustment as
yeah,
the
Roaring
moons on
Moon
both sides are
out
going
first
to be
here. Same lead for Shiliang, different lead for Justin. And this is interesting, right? Because the situation that Justin was in last turn, where he could have taken like last game, first turn, he could have taken 2 knockouts. Shiliang can't quite take 2 knockouts here, but he can do some heavy damage into Calyrex, right? He can knock off and he can close combat into Urshifu. But at the same time, terrifying acrobatics into Urshifu. We've seen that it doesn't kill, though, right? So I don't think that's the play that Justin would want to make here. Instead, we see that he opts to match Tailwind and go for what? Glacial Lance, yeah. Okay. Matches Tailwind, Surging Strikes. Good damage into Calyrex, Glacial Lance. Gonna take out Roaring Moon, but also, like, Shiliang at this point, that's a fine sacrifice. While you might want to have Roaring Moon up, you get the Tailwind up. And I actually think for Shiliang here, since there was no Terra on the Calyrex, like, obviously, hindsight is 20/20. You know what I mean? Like, it's way easier to look back at the game and be like, oh, he could have made this move. But, like, when you're in there, you don't always see these plays. And maybe you're feeling, okay, maybe Justin Terra's here, or maybe Justin just protects straight up. So it's better to match, like, it kind of is better to match Tailwind. But I think at the same time, like, if you go knockoff into Calyrex and Surging Strikes into Calyrex, even if it protects like we saw, you still get the Surging Strikes damage. You do the same amount of damage. You lose Roaring Moon, but then you can just bring in your own Calyrex and maybe press Terra, which I think he does this turn anyway, but you go Terra Water into Calyrex, knock it out, Terra... Oh, actually, yeah, you can't Terra twice. Sometimes my head just moves too fast. Well, you know you're going to survive knockoff, so I would have went maybe Trick Room. Yeah, Terra Water and then Trick Room on Calyrex. And that way, like, you can just come back out. So, I don't know. Very... Like, that was definitely an option there. Because he could have just killed Calyrex this turn. But I think he's worried about... Like, there's so many things that could have happened. And I think this is actually what happens this turn. He gets Terra Water, knock off, you survive. Knocks off the Clear Amulet, and I think he does set Trick Room here, actually. So that's what I'm saying, like, you set the Trick Room.
Absolutely, you pick up enough damage to make up for that small bit of difference.
But then it's like you didn't really need the Tailwind. But the thing is that you both have Tailwind under Trick Room, so like it's still gonna come down to a speed tie almost in a certain part of the game. Yeah, so Trick Room right there gets set up. Smart play. But again, like I just think knockoff is the better play there. But obviously I'm watching this game in like hindsight, so much easier to decipher that. So what comes next? What comes next? What do you go for? You going for Protect, and he goes for Close Combat, is that? No, Surging Strikes. Maybe trying to catch a swap here. Ooh, okay, Surging Strikes into... Okay. Into the Amoonguss. But it's not as detrimental because Amoonguss doesn't have its handy-dandy Rocky Helmet. It's got Cobra Cloak. Which makes sense, just so you can always get off Spore. You don't have to worry about Fake Out. So not as detrimental with Rocky Helmet. Close Combat. Drops the defenses. Landorus comes out. And so, right, this is interesting. Like, I think we see that Landorus here is the fastest. Terra Water is really good. The play from Justin is just protect Terra Water to take less damage. Normally, you don't want to protect in front of Urshifu, and it's really weird to see a Terra and then protect. But the play here is right, if you think about it, is okay, I'm protecting from Spore, from Amoonguss, and I'm Terraing to take less damage from Urshifu. So, very smart play. And obviously, right, it's the play. But he tries to Spore. Can't go through Protect. Then the taunt comes out from Justin's Urshifu, which we see moves first under Trick Room. But I think, again, that's just a speed tie. Yeah. Yeah. So that does just over half. Both Tailwinds peter out now. So now you're going Close Combat. And right, yeah, I think that plays fine there. And I think that this is, for that to happen 2 times in a row, it's not a speed tie. Like, Justin's Urshifu is slower than Shiliang's, and probably so that it can outspeed other Urshifu if Trick Room ever becomes apparent. And like, he knows it. You can see on his, you can see on his face. he's like, oh my gosh, like no way that happened twice. Like, and he's like, yeah, bro, I changed some speed tiers around, which is fine, right? Like y'all can completely build the team together, but just in case you face this person, you don't want them to know everything about your team. So maybe you make some adjustments, maybe make some changes. Earth Power comes out, doesn't kill the Amoonguss, and this is like where it gets interesting. Pollen Puff, it's pretty free here to just Pollen Puff Glacial Lance. So, this is so weird. Surging Strikes. What does he do? One turn of Trick Room. He goes for Protect. Goes Surging Strikes into Amoonguss. Protect is fine, right? Makes sense. Makes total sense. Wait up the last turn of Trick Room. The issue I have with this play is that, like, Urshifu's defenses are lowered, so it's probably not going to survive. Like, but it's neutral Glacial Lance and it is resisted. So, like, I think it does survive this turn. I think the better play here is to attack into Calyrex. Like, if he wanted to beat Shiliang. Shiliang makes the correct play. Beside Pollen Puff, high horsepower. Yeah, and especially with that happening, like, I think the better play there is always to go ahead and attack the Calyrex. Get rid of some of that damage that it just took from the Pollen Puff. And, like, this way, this turn is way less of a worry because I don't think. Ooh, does it survive? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah, so he 2-0s. Okay. So in the end, it didn't matter. I can't remember if this game went to 3 games or not. In the end, it didn't matter. Look at that face, man. J Tang. Look at that face, man. So happy. Regional win number 30. They hug it out. LOL. Regional win number 3, not 30. They hug it out, and yeah, that's the whole set. So I just kind of wanted to cover that battle. The only play here that I feel like could have been different is, again, no reason for him to Glacial Lance here. High horsepower is definitely the right call. Although, let's look at it. Urshifu. Let's just do that, and let's go Calyrex. Sure, Terra, whatever. -1. -1 does okay. I think this is just kind of slower with a little bit more HP. We can figure out how much HP that it had. Oh, it's 201. Yeah, it's a lot of HP. It's mad. No, it's 220. I think we looked at that earlier. Oh no, it's 208. Okay. So then, like, less speed probably, and let's just say less attack. So 201, yeah, that looks about right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, high horsepower is the correct play. Good to know for my own head's sake. I'm wondering if you're +1. Yeah, high horsepower is always the right play there. Yeah, I totally think that Justin could have won this on this turn. The only thing is if I didn't see him check it, and I'm not sure if I can find it, but okay, Amoonguss falls for taunt. The only thing is if Amoonguss is on its last turn of taunt right there, then like that totally makes sense to take it out. But if Amoonguss still has one more turn of taunt left, I think the better play there would be to, I don't know if he ever checks it. So this is turn 1 of taunt. Yeah, so this is turn 2 of taunt. Yeah, so I think the better play there, since this is turn 2 of taunt, and Mungus is still going to have one more turn of taunt there, Surging Strikes into, you protect, obviously. Then Surging Strikes into the Calyrex to get rid of the Pollen Puff damage. Next turn, you can just Earth Power. I think what you can do next turn is... Okay. Yeah, I guess it becomes a little dicey because then Calyrex can protect and you have to like do some weird stuff and decide if you're going to Earth Power into Amoonguss or not. So he just kind of isolates it. Or if you're going to Earth Power into Calyrex, and like I think if Amoonguss is left on the field. Okay, I see that. I see that now for sure. For sure. Look at that. Look at the high taper. Look at a high taper fade. Look at the taper fade. All right. Look at the taper. All right. Dude, Shiliang Tang is so tall. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. I just wanted to cover that. I think this is a really great display of two great battlers and two great Calyrex ice users. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me on this one. I think I'm still gonna record a video today and upload it later. Maybe it might come tomorrow though. It'll be a battle video, but yeah. Thanks for watching this battle analysis, and I hope that you guys enjoy. Have a good rest of your day, and until next time, peace. I'm gonna put this at the start of the video, but again, thank you guys so much for the love on the last couple videos and seeing some new subscribers come out. So appreciate the likes. Really helps out. If you like the video, leave a like, and if you like it even more and you like me, hit subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, deuces.